Hello, thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos, and today we're looking at linear inequalities level 2. So this is a continuation of linear inequalities level 1 when we did multi-step equations and solve. This one involves distribution. So it's just like solving equations, but the main thing you got to remember is if you divide or multiply by a negative, you swap the inequality sign around. Okay? So let's take a look at our first example. Alright, here it says solve the following inequality for t. Write your answer in the simplest form. That means if you have a fraction at the end, just simplify your fraction. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in and work this one out. Okay, now we've got variables, the same variable, but they're on both sides of the equation. So what we want to do is isolate the variable. In order to do that, first we have to collect them all together, move them to the left side, move the number to the right, and then divide. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of these parentheses by distributing. So first I'm going to distribute this -3 into the parentheses. So now I have -2t, then negative times this positive is a negative, 3 times 10 is 30. And there's no variables, just put down t. Then negative times a positive is a negative, 3 times 5 is 15. And everything else I'm just going to write again. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is we've got t's everywhere through here. And we want to collect them all together. And we want to collect any constants if they're there as well. So I'm going to underline the ones with variables with red. It underlines the ones with no variables, the constants, with blue. And now we're going to collect the ones that have variables, and if there's any for constants, we're going to collect those too. But they have to be on the same side of the inequality. So the two reds over here, we're going to collect them. The two reds over here, we're going to collect them. And then everything else we're going to bring down. So here I have a -2t and a -30t. They're the same sign, so find the sum. 30 plus 2 is 32. T. And since they're both negative, we keep it negative. And I'm going to bring down this -15. Alright, next we're going to have a less than or equal to, and now I'm going to collect the variable terms on this side, the two reds. Okay, in this case here we've got a positive 3t, okay, and a negative 6t. They're different signs, find the difference. So it's 6 minus 3, okay, and 6 minus 3 is 3. T. And since the 6 is the bigger absolute value, we leave it negative and bring down the -9. Alright, now it's similar to the ones we did in the previous video. We're just going to move the variable to the left and move the constants to the right. Alright, so I'm going to start with the variable. And I got -3t, I'm going to move it to the left. And I'm going to do the opposite. Add 3t. And do it on both sides. Okay, now the 3t's over here are going to cancel out. and I'm going to combine these two. They're different signs, so I'm going to find the difference. 32 minus 3 is 29. Since the 32 is the bigger absolute value, I'm going to say negative. And then everything else I'm going to bring down. It's getting smaller and smaller. We're isolating the variable. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is move the constant, which is the numbers here, without the variable. So I got minus 15, I'm going to add 15. Okay, the 15s cancel out here, and that's going to leave me with a negative 29t is greater than or equal to, different signs, find the difference. 15 minus 9 is 6. And since the 15 is the bigger absolute value, it's just bigger anyway, we're going to make it positive. Alright, now we're going to do our last step here, and we're going to divide this coefficient, negative 29, on both sides. Alright, the 29's cancel out, and that's going to leave me with t. Now, since we're dividing by a negative, we got to swap the inequality around. Don't forget that crucial step. And then we're going to simplify this 6 over 29. But there's not the same number that can go into both 6 and 29. In fact, I think 29 is a prime number. So since it doesn't simplify, we're just going to do the positive divided by a negative, which is negative. So that's going to lead us negative 6 over 29. So let me zoom back out here so you can see the whole thing. And that's how you do it. Just take it a little bit at a time. Be real careful with your signs. Write out every step. That keeps you from messing up. And then just get your answer. Alright. Now take a look at this next problem. It's on here somewhere. There we go. And see if you can solve this one on your own. Don't forget, you want to divide. If you divide by a negative, only if you do divide by a negative, swap the inequality around. Alright, this should be what you get. You should get negative 20 over 13. Okay? And G is greater than negative 20 over 13. That should be the answer. So I'm going to zoom in here and go through what I did. Alright, so first I distribute. Okay, got my negative 15G minus 40. And I collected the like terms. This time you have two constants on one side, but that's okay. You just combine them and you get negative 47. Same sign, find the sum. On the right side I had the two variables, 10G and a G, understood 1 here. Just combine them and you get 11G. Alright, then next I am going to move the variable to the left side by subtracting 11G on both sides. Give me negative 26G, same sign, find the sum. Then I move the negative 47 over here by doing the opposite, adding 47 on both sides. And then different signs, find the difference. I get 40. So I have negative 26G and 40g. Okay, now I'm going to divide by a negative, so that's going to make me swap my sign around. And I'm left with 40 over negative 26g, which can be simplified. So now I came over here and showed you how I simplified it. The biggest number that can go into both 40 and 26 is 2. So you divide by 2 in the numerator and the denominator, and then you get negative 20 over 13. And that's it. And that is Linear Inequalities Level 2. I want to thank you for checking out Mr. Ware's videos. Have a nice day.